good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard
work. Evening all, says Jeff Partridge. Good evening peeps, says Carol. And good evening, says Sebastian. Hello everybody. Welcome to the Monday Community Run. Back after about 6 billion years. Marcus Holmes is jogging. Sarah Jacobson is doing 3 minutes run, 2 minutes walk. Is that or the opposite way around? Jackie Ramos is with us. Tiago is with us. Niels Overburst is with us. Theo Heldorn is with us. Sebastian, Jeff and Carol. Colossal is there. Thurman is there. Hawks is there from the USA. C. Beebies is there. P. Best is there. Is that Pete Best? Victoria is just about to get on the treadmill. She's just in time. Tiago says welcome back. Victoria is dressed in her waterproofs because she's been out on the track with Ellis and it's been pouring with rain. So welcome back to the UK to us, because we've had 2 weeks of absolute burning hot weather in Chamonix in France. Marcus says, tell us all about your summer, Stephen. Well, give me a minute. Let me get into this run here and see how I feel. See how Victoria's legs feel. It'll be interesting. Sarah Jacobson says, way to start with the complaints. Well, it's not. I mean, surely it's fair to complain about it being wet and miserable in the UK, having just been in the glorious sunshine for 2 weeks. Marcus wants his summer recap now. I've got 2 things to do. I need to put my heart rate monitor on. I need to... Oh, hang on, your mic's not on, Victoria. Hold on. Right, let me do a couple of admin things. This is not a technical failure, but I just need to do a couple of admin things. Sarah Jacobson, I don't want to hear a word. I need to find my mouse first. There it is. Okay. Right, let's turn Victoria's mic on so that she can jabber away while I sort a few other things out. Try it now, Vic. I think so. You might need to be a bit closer to the mic. Can everybody hear Victoria?
Hey all.
And Victoria's going to be in charge of reading out your messages in the chat.
I have to change the angle of the screen.
Yes, I'm going to do that. That's the other admin thing I'm going to do now. Is that okay?
Yep.
Right, Marcus says they can hear you. So you can waffle away while I just sort my heart rate out now.
Have you read out all of the chat?
No, I haven't read out all the chat.
So where did you get to?
Oh, just people saying hello and good evening. So probably at the bottom there. So... Tiago, welcome back.
Sebastian says that I have a date with Victoria tonight. Where is she?
What? What? Why have you got a date with Sebastian? And why was I not informed?
Well, there you go. All will be revealed in a few minutes.
No, hang on a minute. No, all will...
catch up, and I will leave you in suspense.
In suspenders.
Anthony Anderson, now I like this comment. He says, I hate to bring it up, but how does it feel to be second best? Now, Anthony...
Is he talking to you, Victoria?
Who is that? Question aimed at, I wonder. Jeff says, come on, get it out of the way. And he says, beat me to it, Anthony. Anthony's had 2 weeks of fun as well. Hello to Paul Hayward. We'll come back to Sebastian and my date. We'll just talk about second best first, shall we?
Right, I've just realised why you were so keen to run this evening. Now I've worked it out. So Victoria said to me earlier, are you running tonight? I went, well, maybe. Because I wasn't sure whether I was up to it, a bit tired. And eventually I said, yeah, all right. She says, I'll join you. I'll do it. Now I know why.
Like that.
Yes, it was.
Jeff Partridge says Stephen has been second best for a while. ... 12 seconds.
Not interested, not listening, Jeff.
Nice one, Jeff. Stephen, would you like to explain the 12 seconds?
No, not at all. I've no interest in explaining what Jeff Partridge means by 12 seconds at all.
If only Stephen knew what Jeff Partridge's 100-mile PB was. Whoop. And in response to Anthony Anderson's comment about second best, last year I did OCC, which is part of the UTMB World Series final, and this year Stephen did OCC. It's the first time I have run a race before Stephen. When Stephen was standing on the start line, the UTMB live stream put the camera and microphone in front of Stephen. What did you tell the world, shall we say?
I stood on the start line of OCC 57 kilometres in the Alps of Switzerland and France. And my friend Owen, who is on the microphone at UTMB OCC, said, Stephen, come here, thrust the microphone in my face and said, what are you hoping for today? And on the microphone and on the live stream, in front of thousands of people, I said, the only thing I care about is beating my wife's time from last year, which was 11 hours, 25 minutes. No problem, I can do that.
You finish OCC, Stephen?
Sarah Jacobson says, Stephen, you're so obnoxious. Like you didn't know that already, Sarah. What time did I finish OCC in? Wait, what race is that? I don't remember.
Was it quicker than 11 hours, 25 minutes?
It's difficult to say. It depends what you mean. It depends what you mean by 11 hours, 25 minutes and what you mean by OCC, what you mean by distance and time. It's all relative, isn't it? I mean,
No. Now, I hold the cousin's crown for the fastest time at OCC. To be fair, the course was slightly different this year. Although we think I might have had a bit more elevation, your section was more technical. Is that fair to say?
So, in all seriousness, I did not beat Victoria's time. So Victoria did 11 hours 25. I did 11 hours 39 minutes. Now,
Sarah says, I'm proud of you, Victoria. You earned it outright.
yeah,
Thank you, Sarah.
Listen, I'm magnanimous enough to give the win to Victoria. Okay? Now, the question is, just to put it into some more context, I ran 2 kilometres further over much more difficult terrain. However, counter that by I think according to Strava, last year Victoria did slightly more elevation than me. So my elevation was 3,300 meters. Victoria's was 3,500, according to Strava. So it might be that Victoria actually did some more elevation, but I definitely did at least 2 kilometers more over some very technical terrain.
And when I say
technical terrain, it was like 25 minutes per kilometer. And yeah, it was hotter.
We have actually compared some of the Strava segments, and our times are seconds different.
Jeff Partridge says, what, a whole 2 kilometres? Listen, a whole 2 kilometres equal to about 40 to 50 minutes worth of time.
Anthony says, stop making excuses. He said the word karma comes to mind. Paul said that Miss Victoria will not dine out on her successes for years, like some sub-3-hour marathon.
Jeff Partridge says, Stephen, you should have just run quicker. This is true, yeah. Marcus Holmes says, I've listened to the whole of this and I conclude that Victoria wins.
Carol says, blah, blah, blah. Thank you, Niels. This is very impressive, Victoria. Thanks, Carol.
Are people giving you kudos for a run you did over a year ago?
It's actually given me a bit more confidence, knowing that Stephen did OCC in a similar time to me. I thought you were a lot stronger than me.
Clearly not. I'm clearly rubbish. Sarah says, Stephen, you are bragging about sub-3. I haven't mentioned sub-3. Paul Deering's the one who brought it up, not me.
You into mentioning it. Matthew Ramos says, nice you are all back and everyone else here. Also, UTMB is marvellous. How does one start to collect stones in Europe? Jackie, it's very easy. You have to do a UTMB race. In the UK, we have 2 different races, and you can pick a distance, whether it's 20 kilometres, 50 kilometres, 100 kilometres, or 100 miles. Depending on the distance, how many stones you are awarded. I did ETC in Chamonix, so I earned 1 running stone for that. In addition to collecting UTMB race running stones, you need to do another race that qualifies you for the distance. So South Lansway 50 miler qualified me to enter the ballot for OCC or CCC. And then I used my 2 running stones from UTS 50k into the ballot, and that's how I got my race entry for OCC. This year, I had no running stones, so I signed up for ETC, not part of the World Series final, not part of a ballot. Just sign up, pay your money, do the race, and earned a stone, which I can now use for next year's ballot.
Marcus says, do running stones expire? No, but they go dormant. So you can have active running stones for 2 years. And after that time, they sit dormantly on your account until you get another one. And then when you get another one, all of the stones are then reactivated for another 2 years. You will never lose your stones. If you apply for a race and you don't get in, you keep your stones. If you apply for a race and you do get in, you will lose all of your stones regardless of how many you've got. Because each stone is like one ballot entry. So the more stones you have, the more likely you are to get into that race. And when you get in, you have effectively used all of your stones.
Because I was out in Chamonix, that you can choose how many of your stones to use in the ballot. So if you had 10 stones and you wanted to use 5, you could put 5 in the ballot and keep.
Oh, really? Who told you that?
Well, somebody who I trust, not mentioning names,
Okay.
but I don't know sure, but I'm pretty confident that person knows.
Right. Oh, well, so I didn't know that. Sarah Jacobson says this seems overly complicated. It can seem very complicated when you first start to look at it.
It's actually simple.
It's very simple. So you just need stones and a performance index. Stones and a performance index. There's 2 things that you need.
Those are chances in the lottery.
And a performance index proves that you are capable of running close to that distance. So you could get all that in one race. So you could do, let's say, Côte d'Azur by UTMB in Nice, in France. That's a UTMB race. And you could do the 50k. So that would give you 3 running stones for completing that race. Or was it maybe 2? Maybe 2. And then you would also get a performance index for the 50-kilometre distance, allowing you to enter a race of 50 kilometres at UTMB. I know it does sound complicated, but it really, once you look into it and just get to grips with it, it's not.
Yes, you are correct. You can sign up for ETC, which is 15 kilometres, and was it 1,200 metres?
Yeah, about that.
Really easy to sign up. You do the race, and you get 1 stone.
Right, Sarah has zoned out already. In fact, she says 10 minutes ago she zoned out.
Sebastian says, I've missed that the OCC was the first race I did before Stephen, and next year there will be another race that I am going to do which Stephen has not done.
Oh yeah, what's that?
It's the Race King 100 kilometres.
I thought that you said you had a date with Sebastian tonight.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Because we want to chat. We want to chat about running plans for next year. Running goals. See, Sebastian says, time for the announcement, Victoria. I'm so excited.
Come on then, what are you and Sebastian doing next year?
Well, I'm doing Race the King, 100 kilometres. Is anybody else doing anything challenging next year? Sebastian? Jeff says that UTMB is a big money-making pyramid scheme. Yes, probably. But it's also exciting, Jeff. You know what it's like to get out in Chamonix. It's so inspiring. Seeing so many people achieving beyond what they thought was possible. PBs being broken. I honestly thought that Courtney Dauwalter does not have competition. On Saturday, we saw Katie Scheid running into Chamonix, winning UTMB for the second time and smashing the women's course record,
Held by Courtney.
which was held by Courtney. And it was really nice that Courtney was out supporting other runners for the race.
Marcus and Sarah, I've just missed some comments by you that I didn't quite catch. If you want to repeat them, please do, but they went off the screen before I saw.
Jackie says, so is the majors, Jeff. That's another money-making scheme. But people buy into it, don't they? Jeff says, I don't agree with you, Victoria, but it isn't quite the same as it used to be. It's changed though, Jeff, and we just have to go along with it.
Right, Tina says, why am I running faster than everyone else? Because I forgot that I was running to catch up, and then I caught up and overtook and kept up the same speed. So I've now slowed down to join the pack. Right, Marcus is saying, Vic, your mic needs to be louder. What you need to do is talk more right into it, like I'm doing here. Right into the mic.
Apologies. So Anthony says that Stephen is trying to prove to everyone that he's still got it.
Look, right, I'll be totally honest, okay? I was genuinely hoping and expecting that I could run closer to 10 hours for OCC. And I'll give myself a little bit of credit that it was very hot and you all know what I'm like in the heat. Nevertheless, I was definitely slower than I thought I would be. Just getting old.
Jeff says the top level elites were noticeable by their absence at UTMB, especially in the male field.
Yeah, they just dropped like flies, didn't they? So,
What do you mean not turning up? Jeff?
No, they definitely turned up. I mean, you can't argue the top level didn't turn up. So you had Pau Capel, previous winner. You had Tom Evans, Western States winner and third a couple of years ago. You had Jim Walmsley, course record holder and last year's winner. That's 3. Then you had Matthew Blanchard as well. And who else? There was a couple of others. But the top level were definitely there, but none of them made it to the finish line.
Very interesting race. Jeff says, let's talk about PTL then. And he says, are you up for it, Victoria? Jeff, I would be more up for it than Stephen would. Although I just couldn't get that amount of elevation in, I don't think, in 1 week.
Jeff says, plenty didn't turn up as well as dropping out. Yeah, I mean, I guess, so Zach Miller didn't turn up and Killian didn't turn up. Francois Daheen wasn't there. So there were certainly a few people that could have been there that weren't.
Killian was doing another
Killian's doing his Switzerland peak, 4,000 peaks, isn't he? So he's running as many Swiss 4,000 metre peaks as he can. So he's gone a bit mad. But the other reason, that may be the knock-on from last year's debacle. Oh yeah, Jeff of course wasn't there, so that is another one of the elites who didn't turn up.
Mrs. C still rules, and Paul says Victoria is ageing better.
To be fair, I don't think any of us would argue that Victoria is ageing better. She recently saw a very old school friend who she hasn't seen for years and years, who said she looked exactly the same.
Tina definitely wasn't at UTMB.
By the way, how's it all been on Zwift since we've been away? I mean, I haven't looked at Zwift at all for a couple of weeks, apart from having some conversations on the forums with a few people. I don't know if has there been any exciting news. I don't guess so. With the summer, it's very quiet on Zwift. But if anything's happened, do let me know. Marcus says, Stephen, you look exactly the same as you did last week. My hair's longer, and I assume I'm more tanned than I was last week.
Tina says we've been shamelessly badged. Yeah, I need to catch up for the...
I saw that.
badges.
I saw Tina shamelessly getting badges without me. So from Thursday, we will be getting new badges on Zwift. We will be running the badges and clocking those off. Bag that badge on a Thursday evening. Or, well, evening in the UK anyway. Okay, Sarah Jacobson says, wait, there are new badges. That's how long I've been off Zwift. Yes, we got a whole load of new running badges about 3 or 4 weeks ago, Sarah.
Anthony said they've got rid of the grey on the heart rate top right.
Oh, yes, right, there we go.
The heart rate zone colours are restored.
Yes, thank you. I've just noticed that.
Neil says that I also have problems with Stephen. Valid reason for not beating the goal. Absolutely.
Appreciate that, Niels. Thank you very much. A valid reason for not beating Victoria. The first person to give me a valid reason. Thanks, Niels.
Jeff Partridge has got his Navy apprenticeship 40-year reunion coming weekend. It will be interesting to see who has aged better.
So I slowed down, and now I've slowed down too much again. I'm talking too much and not concentrating on where I am in the pack. So I'm glad that they've restored the colours for the heart rate. Much better as it is. Didn't like the grey, didn't like the fact that they were scared of red for danger.
Pay attention, Mr. G.
Right, I'm going to catch up with Carol and Tiago and Sebastian. Jeff Partridge is just moving ahead a bit, as is Theo Heldorn.
Paul Hayward says in response to Jeff Partridge's, it'll be interesting to see who's aged the best. He says those that don't drink wine yet. Anthony's suggesting Stephen gets a heat chamber training.
So, Anthony, over the past few days, I have genuinely been looking at altitude tents for our room, with the idea that we sleep every night inside a little chamber at altitude. But they are quite expensive, so it may not happen. But I'm quite keen to do that, to buy a tent to put over the bed, which we can use to sleep at altitude.
Well, I feel quite strange tonight to be running at sea level.
Why? Do you feel like your heart rate's lower?
Yeah, I'm not monitoring it, but yeah, it feels easier.
Yeah, actually, that would have been a good idea, because my heart rate, I haven't got it on the screen there, but it would have been a good idea to check it, wouldn't it?
There's Bikram yoga for you next time. Is that the one that's in a hot room? Bikram yoga.
That hot yoga is...
What I thought that was.
Okay, halfway through, 5 kilometres completed, 5 kilometres to go of the Monday community run. Back after 2 weeks away. and enjoying, running at sea level and enjoying being back on Zwift and chatting to everyone. Good to have you all with us. Thank you for joining. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting Zwift. Marcus says, how much are altitude tents? Okay, so there are two parts to an altitude tent. There is the tent itself, which probably about £300 UK, $500 US. But then the most important, most expensive part is the altitude generating machine, which are about 3,000 UK pounds, 5,000 US dollars, I think. Around about that anyway. I'm sure you can probably get them cheaper, but that's what I've seen.
Yoga is hot yoga. Sarah Jacobson used to do Bikram yoga 3 times a week in her 20s. Jeff says that's why you're a better runner than Steve, Sarah.
Right, shall we just confirm what's happening in the summer next year then? Victoria is doing 2 races. Can we say this?
Yeah.
Right, so Victoria is doing a race that I did a few months ago, Race to the Stones, 100k.
Which is a ballot.
And then she's following that. Oh, is Race to the King before?
Yeah.
And then before that, Victoria will be running Race to the King with Sebastian. So Sebastian is coming over to the UK and he's going to run with Victoria. They're going to do Race to the King. And then a couple of weeks or months later, Victoria's going to do Race to the Stones. So those are Victoria's 2 little challenges for next year. And we'll see what else we can add to the list for Victoria for next year.
Have to decide which UTMB race I'm going to try my luck with my one running stone.
Jeff is suggesting Tour de Géant. Well, so Jeff, you know that I was going to do Tour 130 this year, so I've pulled out of that. It's just too much running. I'm just not strong enough to do that many races. So I was going to do Tour 130 this year, but I'm not doing it. So I'll probably put in again to do Tour 130 next year, so I won't be doing Tour de Géant. But we'll just have to see, because
I've got another exciting race this month.
yeah, so talking about Zwifters taking part in events together. So Sebastian doing Race to the King, 100k with Victoria. In about 3 weeks' time, I will be travelling to Canada and I'll be meeting up with Marcus Holmes. Marcus and me are going to run UTMB Whistler in Canada, 70 kilometres on day 1. And then we're going to do UTMB Whistler 25k on day 2. So 2 races with Marcus Holmes in Canada in a couple of weeks' time.
Herbert Cabell from the USA, he did OCC.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you might have seen some photos on Zwift Runners of myself and Victoria and Herbert Crabell, who is a long-time Zwifter. We all know, you all should know who Herbert Crabell is. Active on the Zwift Runners forum from South Carolina in the USA, although originally from Germany. And Herbert ran OCC with me on Wednesday last week. So it was good to have him at the start line with me.
Tina says the big question is, how was your van on the big trip? Tina, I thought it was marvellous. It gave us the flexibility and freedom to spend a day in Normandy. We visited MHG, which is a great geographical marvel with stone structures. We then went to the Bayer Tapestry and then visited the D-Day landing beach at Aramon. We then travelled down to Chamonix the following day, saved more fortune by camping. However, Stephen and Elsa struggled with not having personal space. Just so they can barely hear me. I can't get any closer to the this microphone.
Okay. There's nothing I can do about it now, but I will see if I can. Actually, I could just reduce the volume of the music.
Apologies, Jeff. So Ellis's birthday is June the 6th, D-Day. For many years he's wanted to go and see the beaches in Normandy. We've previously taken him to Weymouth Harbour to see a piece of the mulberry that was never dragged across to France. So he was really excited to finally go to Arromanches and see what's left of the mulberry. And if you've not heard of the mulberry, it's worth looking it up on the internet. It was a temporary harbour that was built, and they dragged it all the way from Weymouth in Dorset, in the UK, across the English Channel to France.
Right, I've turned the music down, and I have managed actually to turn Victoria's mic up a bit. So tell me if that Marcus says Vic is now much clearer.
And also, on the D-Day landings topic, American troops with tanks lined up in the road that we live in Worthing, before going over to France. And there's still 2 marks on the side of the pavement, which was made by the tank tracks. It's a nice little piece of history in our road.
It also shows how badly the council maintain our roads. Yeah. If there are still marks on the road made by tanks from 1945.
Sarah says, America!
Happy Labour Day, America. Marcus has just reminded us all, because we all knew and just completely forgot. I'm really sorry. Happy Labour Day to those over the water. Yeah, just going back. So I agree with Victoria that there is flexibility with the van that we wouldn't have had otherwise.
Could afford 2 weeks in Chamonix.
But certainly towards the second week, I was finding it very claustrophobic. Difficult to live with everybody. 4 people crammed into a van. I just found it difficult to sleep, difficult to get my own space. So if we do 2 weeks again, I'm probably going to argue for a hotel. I could probably do a long weekend.
You might need to get another job then, Mr.
Yes.
C.
It is all financially related.
Jester's told you should have bought a bigger van.
Well, the thing is, we also stayed in a campsite, which was absolutely rammed. So we stayed next to our friends Lloyd and Liga. You might know Lloyd from Run for Adventure, another YouTube running channel. So they're our friends, and we stayed right next to them. But the rest of the campsite as well was absolutely rammed, and you were literally just a couple of feet from the next tent or the next camper van. And that felt very claustrophobic to me as well. So it might be different if we stayed in a campsite where there was a bit of space between us.
Tina and Sarah say they need miles of personal space, so understand.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Sarah says 2 weeks in a camper van is a lot. Yeah.
Jeff says, wait, there's another YouTube running channel? No, Jeff.
I mean, it's not a very good one. I mean, none of the others are any good, obviously. I haven't chatted in-game at all yet. So, It's probably too late to bother now, isn't it? We are 6.5k in. We've got 3.5k to go.
Seb says, Carol, so next year, number 55 years.
Yeah. Carol, next year, 55 years, 55th birthday, 26.5 run for me. Double this, 26. I can't follow what it says, really, to be honest. Sebastian, you'll have to explain clearer.
There's, what was that collective noun again? Ego?
An ego of YouTubers, yes. An ego of running YouTubers. Tina says, so what's the running plan this week? Well, okay, so it's basically as usual. So, tomorrow we'll be doing the Film My Run 500 at 6 p.m. UK time. Wednesday, we've got Wednesday workout. Let me just check. Victoria, am I doing anything this week that will mean I cannot do some of the runs?
I'm aware of.
So, Wednesday workout. I think 5:30 p.m. UK time, but I'd have to double check that. Thursday, bag that badge. I haven't decided what route we'll do, but it will be one of the new badges on Thursday. Friday, ZLDR recovery hour at 5:30 UK time. So hopefully we'll see for some of them. If you want to do anything different, if anybody has any ideas for doing something different, you're more than welcome to suggest it and we'll think about it, because we don't have to do the ZLDR recovery hour on Friday. That is the only one, though. The others are pretty set, to be honest. I really should do bag that badge. We really should do Wednesday workout. And we really should do the Film My Run 500. So that's what I've got on plan. If you want to check it on the Zwift.run website, I have updated today. So go and check out Zwift.run and /live schedule.
Just thinks you need to do more hill training, Stephen. Carol said that they went to Portugal in their motorhome as Jonathan was riding the GS motorbikes with BMW. We parked it in the hotel car park.
Stayed in the hotel. I like it. Perfect, Carol. That's exactly what I'd like to do.
Sarah wants to know if you and Marcus are bunking together in Whistler. I don't think so. Isn't Marcus having a family holiday?
Right, the question is, are Marcus and myself bunking together top to toe in a single bed in a youth hostel in Canada? And the answer to that is no. Marcus and I both have separate hotels. We're friends. We're not that close.
Anthony says, as Victoria is running a lot in the future, does that mean that the A team will be front and centre and take the channel over?
Listen, I would love it if Victoria did more live streaming without me. Give me more of a rest. Not that I need a rest. I've just had 2 weeks off, but you know what I mean. It would be really good to have more of a balance between Victoria running and me running. You know, say Victoria does 3 streams a week and I did 3 streams a week. Something like that would be good.
Neil says more group workouts. Tina has a busy outdoor week, but would love to do something different on Friday.
Sarah says that was not the question, Stephen. Listen, I inferred from what was said that you were basically asking, am I going to be sleeping with Marcus?
No, she wasn't. Paul says Marcus couldn't bear that.
Yeah, right,
and
okay.
Tina says, talking of bears.
Okay, I'm scared of bears. I'm scared of bears, all right? I don't want to talk about it.
I don't think he's bought the bear spray yet. Yes, Jeff Partridge says Dragon's Back started today. Not the best weather over the top. I have seen some of the photos.
So Dragon's Back, a 6-day race over the spine of Wales, incorporating some of the toughest mountain terrain you will find in the UK, started today. Organised by the same company that organises Cape Wrath. Have I told you I did Cape Wrath Ultra a few months ago? The final episode of the Cape Wrath Ultra will be out on Friday. I know I missed a week because I was very busy, but we will get it out on Friday this week.
Marcus Holmes can barely sleep in the same city as Stephen.
To avoid the bears, Marcus and I just have to run faster than each other. So if we're getting chased by a bear, it's basically a sprint between Marcus and me as to who survives.
Hayward says you'll have to bear and grin it. Sarah's wondering if she should go to Whistler to supervise.
I think that is a tremendous idea, Sarah. You have to come to Whistler. Come on, it's just one, it's a flight. It's a short flight for you.
Jeff says you wish he hadn't mentioned Dragon's Back.
Don't worry, Jeff, I will not be doing Dragon's Back ever. The same as I won't be doing PTL. Dragon's Back and PTL are not on my list.
Anthony said on the course, at Cliff Height, there are some huge lizards that he noticed. Have you got to take lizard spray as well? Sebastian forgot to ask who won Pinch Punch this month. Stephen.
Is this entire show just a way to elevate you above me?
Stephen, who did win Pinch Punch this month?
I'm not prepared to discuss it.
Marcus says that he's concerned that Stephen isn't going to get through customs with his history. If the Canadian authorities see the shower video, it is all over.
Yeah, I will be closing down my channel until I've got through Canadian immigration.
Tina travelled to a different park run at Seaton on the coast, and it was the wettest she's ever been. Can't think how I was. I didn't know there was a park run at Seaton.
Tina's message is too long and it's gone off the end of the screen, so we can't see it.
Tina, how long has there been a park run at Seaton? I went there many years ago.
We're on the coast road, the southern coast road now, on the Monday community run. With 2 kilometres remaining, we should get to the end just as we reach the sea.
There is a Seaton and a sea town. Oh, 10 years, wow.
Shows how much attention you've been paying, Victoria.
Yeah. Isn't it Seaton where there's that railway?
There are railways all over the world, Victoria. You have to be more specific than saying, isn't it Seaton?
A special railway.
A special railway in Seaton.
I think.
I've been to a place called Seaton Carew, but that's in the northeast of England. I'm guessing that Seaton is not the same place.
Yeah. Anthony says tramway. Yeah, tramway, not railway line. Sorry, my mistake. Jeff Partridge did Bath Skyline Park Run for the first time.
Tell us about Bath Skyline Park Run, Jeff. It sounds interesting.
No, I think it's Bath Skyline.
No, he definitely said Bath Skyline. Tina Beard says Seaton is a small coastal town. Well, Seaton Carew is also a small coastal town near Hartlepool.
But Seaton is a larger coastal town compared to Seatown.
Oh. Carol Rushworth will know about Seaton Carew, I think. Or Paul Deering will know about it, I'm sure. If anybody in the UK remembers the Radio 1 road shows, I went to a Radio 1 road show in Seaton Carew. We have 1 mile to go. Anthony says it's where the grizzly starts. Don't listen, I'm going to Canada. Don't start talking about grizzlies.
The park run at Seatown, because yes, that is tiny.
You're saying Seaton is tiny, Seatown is larger. And right, Carol, I know that you're nowhere near it, but it's in the north. That counts, doesn't it?
Yes, there's Bath Skyline that is a figure of 8, 1 lap course, off-road, fairly flat. Great view of Bath at one point on the course.
Oh, okay, so it's fairly flat, but so when you say Bath Skyline, does that mean it's quite elevated, kind of high up on a ridge? Because that sounds awesome.
Okay, Tina, I'm on the same page as you. The park run is at Seaton, where the tram is. Seatown is tiny. Yeah. That was far more complicated than it needed to be, Tina.
I'll tell you what.
I apologise.
This entire live stream's conversation has been far more complicated than it needed to be. Like Sarah said, trying to explain UTMB stones and points and performance index just sounds far more complicated than it is, or than it needs to be. Okay, so Jeff says yes, Bath Skyline Parkrun is up above the city. You can look down on it. Fantastic. I must try and do that one day because that sounds awesome.
We'll go in the van.
Stay over the weekend. Actually, do you know what though? Right, so one thing I would love to do more of in the van is drive on a Friday night to quite a distant park run. Something like Bath would be exactly perfect, actually. And then do the park run Saturday morning.
And go to Sally Lunn's for a bun.
Sally Lunn's for coffee and a bun. And then drive home.
Paul Hayward says Bath feet up. Yeah.
Right, okay. Jeff Partridge, Paul Hayward, Tina Beard. We are going to do Bath Skyline Park Run one Saturday. Are we up for that?
Yep, I'm up for it. Just need to try and find a weekend when we're free.
Given that it's September, we need to start thinking now about what we're going to do in January. Our marathon training session, is it going to be Brighton again? Looks like it might be. We'll do another Brighton meetup. If people want to come down and come to the house again, like we did last year. We had a great crowd last year. Come for an open house here at the Film My Run studios. And then we did Worthing Park Run together on the Saturday morning. And then some of us did Brighton Marathon. Some of us did Brighton 10K on the Sunday. Fantastic time was had by all, I think. Anyway, I hope.
Maybe she'll do Brighton. That'd be awesome, Sarah.
Sarah, come on. That'd be great. Yeah, come and do Brighton Marathon. And we'll work towards it from January with the Brighton Marathon training sessions.
Jeff says, come to ours and do Pomfrey Park Run. But no, Pomfrey. but don't park your van next to it.
Yeah, because it'll show it up, won't it? Sarah, you're more than welcome to stay with us. That's absolutely fine. You can sleep in the van. Or you can sleep on the sofa in the shed here. Sebastian says, can I put my tent in your garden in June? No, Sebastian, you won't be able to because you can't put stakes in the ground because we've got fake grass. You're more than welcome to come and stay. But we'll have to find different accommodation than a tent in the garden, I think.
Because I don't think your position of coach is in doubt due to your declining running, Stephen. Paul Deering says that Carol must do the Brighton Marathon this time.
Yeah, definitely. Carol welched out and didn't do the marathon when she came over last time, so we're definitely getting Carol to do the marathon in Brighton. Paul Deering's going to come and do another sub-4. Anthony, are you suggesting that Victoria should coach me from now on? Or are you suggesting that I shouldn't lead the Brighton Marathon training sessions from January? Maybe Victoria should do that.
Oh, Marcus says that everyone can sleep in the garden. Jeff says, I've already had a word with him about that, Anthony. Not that he ever had any coaching credentials.
Hey, I am still on my training course for my England Athletics coaching badge. I've got one more thing left to do, but it's fitting it in.
Carol says the tax year end is after, so we'll be okay.
Thank you everyone for taking part in today's Monday Community Run. I will be back tomorrow evening with the Film My Run 500 at 6 p.m. UK time. .300 metres to go. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Thank you for taking part in an entertaining chat. I know that I haven't been very vocal on the game chat, but that's because the YouTube chat has been so engaging. So thank you for that, and well done if you took part in the run. Tiago, Carol, Seb, Theo, Jeff, Niels, Victoria, Paul Haywood, Jackie Ramos, Bolzan, Best from Ireland. Thank you all for coming along and joining in. And we just hit the sea with 200 metres to go. We will...
Anthony says, good to see you both back. Sebastian says, cheers everyone. Thiago says, thank you all. Well done to everyone who's run tonight. Great to be back on Zwift. And thank you to everyone who's been commenting on the chat. Sarah says, good to see everyone. Good to run with you again, Sarah.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Marcus and Sarah have always also been running, but they're not actually on my screen for some reason. I don't know why. And if you don't want to do the Film My Run 500 tomorrow, hopefully we'll see you for Wednesday workouts. For a little bit of interval training on Wednesday, we'll do a little bit of speed, shall we? On Wednesday, get the legs turning over a bit quicker and the heart rate going a bit higher. So either Film My Run 500 tomorrow at 6 p.m. UK time, or Wednesday workout on Wednesday, I think it's 5:30 UK time. We'll see you then. Keep in mind, Brighton Marathon next April, and possibly Bath Skyline for a little bit of a Zwift meetup in the next few weeks.
It's nice to see you again. Bye. It's lovely to chat with you all again. See you in the week. Thanks, Tina.
Yeah, thank you, Tina. Thank you, Niels. Thank you, Sarah, Sebastian, Anthony Anderson, Carol, Jeff, Marcus, Paul Deering, everyone else who's taken part in the YouTube chat on the live stream today, and everyone who's run. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Go and have a shower and get some food and have a good rest. And those of you in America, get back to work. See you later. Bye.
Bye.